Where I live in Verona, Italy, every single Sunday they close this amazing road. And it's the perfect time to run because they close it for like 6 hours and it's beautiful along a river. I always worry about my running technique when I run, but even when I go to the gym and lift weights, I worry about technique with the squat, with the bench press, how can I improve? So today I wanted to run completely barefoot on the tarmac because I wanted to prove to myself and I wanted to understand if it was possible or not. The start of the run felt pretty difficult, to be honest. It felt like this was going to be really painful, and the first 500 meters I was worried that I'd have to stop because I thought there's no way I'm going to be able to continue this because it was hurting my feet. But after those initial 500 meters I realized that I could keep going and there wasn't a problem. I felt really light on my feet and I felt like a child. I was actually running softer than other runners. There was this lady that ran past me and she must have been 45 kilograms maybe. She was really small. Nice running technique. However, I noticed as she was running, she was going boom, 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 smashing the tarmac. Whereas when I was running, there was this gentle little tap, 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 tap. This makes me think about injury when running. A lot of the time, people get injured running because it's so high impact. You're smashing your feet onto the floor, you know, and those shockwaves going all the way through your body. Whereas when you're running barefoot, you're not getting those shockwaves because you're feeling everything on the ground. Your feet have so many sensors that you're feeling every little part and you're adjusting with every little jump. Your feet aren't numb to it. You wouldn't play guitar with a pair of gloves on, for example, or a pair of mittens. You wouldn't try to make your dinner with a pair of gloves with no finger holes. So I think we kind of make our feet a little bit numb, and this can lead to injury because we're sending these huge shockwaves throughout our body. One thing that I did do was I tried to stay on the white line because I found that there were less stones there and it felt a little bit smoother for me when I was running and it was a little bit more comfortable. There were some people out there, because there's lots of people on this road, who kept staring at me, which is probably pretty normal because you don't see people without shoes on running. But I noticed they were almost laughing at me and speaking to their friend or partner and laughing. And I think these types of people are just people that don't necessarily understand why you're doing something. So I think as I've become a little bit older, I've realized just don't care about stuff like that. Just ignore them. One amazing moment while I was running, unfortunately I didn't get it on film, was that there was this lady who was rollerblading on this road, and she stopped, in Italian of course, and asked me why I was running barefoot. And she actually said to me complimenti, which means well done, it's amazing. And I spoke to her and I said, I prefer this style of running. Usually I use my Vibrams, but I wanted to run barefoot because I just wanted to see if it was possible. I wanted to see what would happen to my feet after 5 kilometers. And she was really impressed by this idea and she really liked what I was doing. And I said, it makes me feel more alive, which it does. I actually also found that it hurt me more walking than it did running. When I stopped and started walking, it hurt my feet a lot more than when I was just running. Now, if I was to talk about blisters, yes, I got a few blisters. However, I think over time what will happen is your feet will harden and you will become more used to that style of running. Maybe like our ancestors did a long time ago. You'd get like calluses on your feet to protect you from the stones, which I might actually explore and see if that happens. Maybe next week I'll do a 10-kilometer run. I also think that I was running faster for a period, and if I look at my 5k results, they aren't that far away from my 5k results when I'm running with shoes or my Vibram 5 fingers, which is a really interesting point. So if I was you and you wanted to maybe have a go at running completely barefoot, I would start slow. Don't run too fast because then you're causing too much friction with your feet hitting the floor. Run really slow. Try to run really light on the front of your feet, not striking with your heel. And just give 500 meters a go. See how that feels. And yeah, you're going to feel a little bit different. The bottoms of your feet are going to feel a little bit strange. But if you're running on a relatively smooth piece of tarmac, so I did a loop around this river until I got to 5k, you'll be absolutely fine. Obviously try to run in an area where there's not going to be lots of stone. The tarmac is clean. Obviously you want to avoid things like glass, which you can't always see. But I think your feet adapt so well to this style of running, and the biomechanics of running, as in how you run, are much more suited to barefoot running, because these are the tools we were given and the tools that have evolved over thousands of years. Maybe you will try barefoot running. Put it in the comments below if you're going to give it a go, and let me know how it goes for you. What's your experience with barefoot running? Because I'd love to know. Honestly, I would. And if you like this video, I'd really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button, because I really enjoy making these videos, and I'd like to make sure that every time I make a video, you get notified. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.